Our next guest that night was Congressman Khanna.
Yes, Lawrence. First of all, that was a bombshell revelation by Bradley Edwards. I appreciate your having me on to hear that. It's important what he said, that we have to center the victims in this. And it's important to hear what he believes the victims want, which is the full, complete release of the Epstein files. We're hearing directly that's what the victims want. Second, it is a revelation to me that he said that that birthday book is with private lawyers in the Epstein estate. As you know and reported earlier, Summer Lee showed courageous leadership today on the Oversight Committee. We subpoenaed the Epstein files, but that's a hard thing to do, to get the Department of Justice to cooperate in releasing those files. What's not hard to do is to subpoena private attorneys in a private estate and to get compliance. So I'm actually going to invite Bradley Edwards to meet with the House Oversight Committee, and I think we can easily move forward on this subpoena of that birthday book, and which could really advance this case.
And joining us now is Democratic Congressman Khanna of California. He's a member of the House Oversight Committee. And Congressman, I have to say, I believed that night that you would be back here in due course with that birthday book once we heard that roadmap of subpoena from Bradley Edwards.
I wanted to be here in person because I hope your viewers realize how consequential that was. None of us in the Oversight Committee knew how to get that birthday book. The Wall Street Journal didn't know how to get that birthday book. And it's really a credit to you and your team that you had Bradley Edwards on, that you gave us the lead that this is where the birthday book is. And it was just incredible reporting. So you have changed the course of this entire investigation, you and your team, and I appreciate it, and the survivors appreciate it. The amount of texts I got today from survivors, and you and I have both talked to them, who said, thank you for taking this step in transparency. So your team should be very, very proud of what they did.
You've grabbed this investigation from the start and have been working, as you went to work right away with Bradley Edwards after that program, and then visited with him last week in Washington and with the survivors who he brought with him to tell their stories. What is your sense of progress in this so far? Where do you think we are in this? Is this the end of the beginning, or as Churchill said in about the second year of World War II?
I think this has become now a huge mainstream issue, and it has touched not just progressives and Democrats. It's touched independents. It's touched people in MAGA. I mean, the fact that you had Nancy Mace come out of talking to the survivors in tears. The fact that you had Marjorie Taylor Greene at the press conference and was so emotional afterwards, she gave me a hug. This is a human issue. Lauren Boebert, Thomas Massie. After the survivors, Lawrence, I'm sure you got these kind of messages too. I had women across America texting, talking about how they were abused, assaulted, not by Epstein, just in their lives. This is about standing for survivors. This is something the American people want. I am more confident today that we're going to actually get the release of the files than I've ever been. And the birthday book was a key piece of it, because what it shows is you can't trust anything coming out of the White House. I mean, the Vice President Vance was out there saying, you got to believe Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I hope, I mean, if there was any decency, you would take away the $10 billion lawsuit. You would stop impugning the journalist at the Wall Street Journal who wrote this. But there's no decency. There's no apology. There's no dropping of the lawsuit. And people are seeing this. And you know who's seeing it is his base. And that's what's concerning them.
Yeah. Brad Edwards said today that, of course, the first thing you do is drop the lawsuit, which Trump is eventually going to do, because he will never submit to an under oath deposition in this case. So we now see that there's more than just the Trump letter with the Trump signature in the birthday book. There's this other letter that involves Donald Trump, where they're making a joke of the idea of Jeffrey Epstein selling a woman to Donald Trump. Now, I'm just saying, I assume it's a joke, but I don't understand these people, and I know one of them's a sex trafficker.
It's sick. Yeah. It's disgusting. You're joking about selling women, whether they're underage or not. I mean, you know, I know we had all of those comments that he made in 2016, and we just became immune to it. But at some people, we have to ask at some point, Lawrence, is this the country, as a matter of values, that we want? The degradation and crude dehumanization of women? And you know what I'm seeing is Republican women are standing up and saying no. The MAGA women are standing up and saying, no, we need accountability. You can't have a society where if you're rich and if you have political context, you feel like you have license to do anything to abuse young girls. And this is about protecting children, and it's breaking through.
Does the estate possess more information that the committee might be trying to get?
They do, and we are not sure yet whether we've had a full document production. Ranking Member Garcia has done an excellent job. Chairman Comer has followed through with the subpoenas, but we need some more of the financial information. There's a lot of questions about who actually financed this, what bank accounts they were. They've produced some, but we need to see whether it was a full production. And then, of course, we need the release of the files. And, well, as you know, I'm confident we're going to get to 218 votes. We've got 4 Republicans. We've got 2 vacancies of Democrats who've said they're going to sign by September 23rd. And that means by the first week of October, we're going to have a vote in the House of Representatives to release these files. And then the pressure will be on the Senate. And that will be a big, big moment.
Did today's events possibly add to the momentum of the discharge petition?
It has, because what it has shown is that the White House is not being transparent. Now, you and I know that in a lot of cases, the White House hasn't been transparent. But this is something that so many people in his MAGA base are dialed into. Many people have been concerned about pedophiles not having accountability who voted for him. Many people thought he was going to expose the corruption in government. They are following this. And, yeah, some people may buy his explanation, but many are not buying it, and he's losing that trust. And so this is going to be a cry for transparency that he's losing. For the first time, he's losing people in his base.
You know, knowing the Congress as I do, having worked there for a while.
For a great one.
The one thing, you know, in the Senate, the minority has some power because of the 60-vote threshold and where that can be applied. But when I watched the House of Representatives from my distance on the Senate staff, I always looked at the minority in the House of Representatives, and no fault to the minority, but completely powerless, like in the minority of a Soviet-style institution, like nothing they could do. And what I have seen you and Congressman Garcia and the Democrats on this committee accomplish just in the last few months on this committee is the most powerful demonstration of an incredible accomplishment in a minority that I've seen in the House.
Well, I think it's the issue. The reality is I've been in Congress 9 years. We have never passed a discharge petition in those 9 years. Everyone threatens a discharge petition, and it doesn't go anywhere. I give Congressman Massey credit for crossing the aisle. But the reality is, if we as a country can't agree on this issue, that we want to stand with survivors, that we want to protect America's children, we're lost as a nation. And so what you've seen is people like Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, show courage in crossing the aisle. You've shown Jim Comer, who I think was moved by this testimony, and it's the one time that we actually can get something done through the minority that is something that the whole country wants.
Congressman Khanna, an honor to have you here in the studio in New York. Really appreciate you making the effort, and thank you very much for joining us tonight and for continuing to pursue this.
It's my honor. I came here to thank your team and you for what you did, and your viewers should know that. There's a lot of people that they watch this and they say, okay, your commentary, this was substantive. And the survivors, you made a difference in their lives, and the journalists who work for you made a difference. And I appreciate that.
It really was a team. Booking Bradley Edwards on this show, which was the breakthrough booking, was not my idea and not my doing. That was Amy Schuster and the staff and Melissa. And the team that put that together and that night together deserves all the credit.
It's changed the whole course. We wouldn't have had the press conference. The survivors wouldn't have been there. The birthday book wouldn't have been there. They deserve credit. There are a lot of times I know people get criticism. I'm here today in person because I wanted to thank them, your whole team, for the work they've done.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.